The Texas housing market, once synonymous with American affordability, is now on the brink of crisis. For years, Texas has been a welcoming place for families escaping high costs in other cities. However, by 2025, this ideal is crumbling. Prices are dropping, housing inventory is overflowing, and even the governor has labeled it an emerging housing crisis. What's occurring isn't merely a market cool-down. It's a profound correction happening more swiftly and severely than anticipated. Mortgage rates have persisted above 7%, buyer confidence has plummeted, and builders are finally acknowledging the obvious. The era of rapid growth has ended. Governor Greg Abbott has also reacted, describing the current state as unsustainable. Behind closed doors, he is frustrated that Texas, which once ridiculed California's housing difficulties, is now facing a similar fate. Dallas-Fort Worth, the core of Texas real estate, is experiencing the brunt of this upheaval first. As of July 2025, over 32,000 unsold homes litter the metro area, a stark increase compared to just a year before. Builders who actively embarked on new projects 2 years back are now either pausing developments or halting them entirely. What was once a city that couldn't build homes quickly enough is drowning in unsold properties. This surge includes not just new builds, but also a dramatic rise in resale listings. Realtors now indicate that price reductions are commonplace, and open houses that once attracted throngs of eager buyers now find themselves eerily quiet. This stark reversal sees the state, once celebrated for its affordability, now struggling to find buyers. Looking back just a few years, it's almost unbelievable that this is the same Texas. In 2020, Dallas shone as one of the hottest housing markets in the nation. With low interest rates, rapid job growth, and an influx of residents from places like California and New York, a modern housing gold rush emerged. At that time, homes sold in mere hours. Buyers frequently waived inspections, cash offers were the norm, and investors snatched up entire neighborhoods without seeing them first. It felt chaotic, yet many believed it would be everlasting. Even amid this high-flying period, warning signals were evident. From 2017 to 2022, Dallas's median home price skyrocketed nearly 80%, from around $340,000 to $485,000, while wages didn't keep pace. When the Federal Reserve began raising interest rates in 2023, the home-buying math suddenly didn't work. This signaled the start of greater issues. Texas residents previously enjoyed homes that those in coastal states could only wish for. Yet, as borrowing costs surged, affordability swiftly faded. A mortgage that had cost $1,700 monthly suddenly ballooned to nearly $2,700. It was the same home and job, merely altered interest rates. Buyers didn't back out voluntarily, they simply could no longer make the numbers work. By late 2023, builder confidence sank to its lowest level since the pandemic. Developers, still holding on to projects started during the boom, faced a dwindling pool of potential buyers. By summer 2025, inventory surged. Housing stock in Dallas increased over 60% year-on-year, marking the highest rise since the Great Recession. The saying, "everything's bigger in Texas," was taking on an unfortunate new connotation. Then, a further challenge emerged with property taxes. Texas lacks a state income tax, making local governments reliant on property evaluations to fund education, public safety, and infrastructure. This system functions well when home prices are stable. However, when prices soar, taxes escalate accordingly. Between 2019 and 2024, property tax bills in Dallas soared over 40% on average. Homeowners who once paid $8,000 or $9,000 annually now faced bills around $15,000. In addition, insurance costs doubled in some areas after consistent storms and freezes, causing financial strain even for long-term homeowners. The very element that attracted many to Texas, affordable homeownership, was slipping away. By early 2025, the discontent spilled into the open. During town halls statewide, homeowners pressed officials for assistance. Governor Abbott couldn't dismiss the uproar. In February, he declared property tax reform an emergency item for the approaching legislative session, a clear sign of mounting pressure on state leaders. Within months, lawmakers approved a $10 billion relief package, expanding homestead exemptions, introducing senior discounts, and aiming to control how swiftly local authorities could raise property valuations. This plan marked Texas's largest property tax reduction ever. However, relief on paper doesn't always translate to real-world improvement. For some homeowners, adjustments barely eased the burden. If their monthly mortgage soared by $1,000 due to interest rates, saving a few hundred in property taxes felt insignificant. Despite Abbott's reforms, affordability barely improved, and the housing slowdown persisted. Economists deemed it damage control. While helpful, the measures were insufficient to rectify the underlying issues behind the crisis. Abbott, known for his composed demeanor, appeared increasingly impatient. During a June press conference, he slammed his hand on a podium piled high with foreclosure notices, asserting, "Texans are being priced out of their own state, and I won't tolerate it." This rare display of anger resonated deeply. However, many homeowners wondered, why wasn't there similar urgency when prices were soaring? The fact is, this downturn didn't emerge overnight. Years of rising interest rates, escalating construction costs, and buyers stretching their financial limits led to this situation. Now, sellers feel trapped. Many can't lower prices because of their mortgage debts. Some have turned to renting their homes to cover payments, contributing to a saturated rental market and reducing rents. Landlords, builders, contractors, and local governments reliant on property taxes are all feeling the impact. Dallas, once the crown jewel of Texas real estate, finds itself in a precarious position. Not a crash reminiscent of 2008, but far from a gentle landing. By mid-2025, average home prices decreased by 4 to 6% from their peak. Some analysts warn that they could dip another 8% before stable conditions return. That might seem minimal, but for those who purchased at the peak, even a minor decline can erase years of equity. Meanwhile, listings are still accumulating. Homes that used to sell in days are now lingering for months. In Dallas, the median days on market figure has reached triple digits, the highest in over 10 years. New construction projects, once viewed as symbols of relentless expansion, now move at a snail's pace. Developers who once planned thousands of homes have paused, awaiting interest rates and buyer confidence to normalize. The ripple effects extend beyond housing. Retailers, furniture businesses, and landscaping firms are feeling the crunch. When home sales decline, everything else slows down, and that's precisely what's happening right now. For the first time in decades, some Texans are leaving instead of arriving. Families drawn to Texas for its affordability now find it slipping away. For them, the Texas dream has become a tale of promise turned to hardship. Even the once thriving rental market is cooling. New apartments continue emerging in Dallas and Austin, but vacancies are filling slowly. That's forcing landlords to reduce rents or offer free months to attract tenants. The once bustling market has officially shifted to one of decline. Governor Abbott's stance has also shifted. No longer is there celebration for migration or development. The focus has turned to stability. State leaders are now contemplating zoning reforms, targeted builder incentives, and closer scrutiny of property assessments. They recognize fixes won't occur in just one legislative session. Abbott's primary message now revolves around balance, striving to restore confidence in a market that has become unstable. He aims to keep Texas appealing to newcomers while ensuring it's livable for existing residents. It's a fine line to navigate. The irony isn't lost on anyone. For years, Texas politicians mocked the prospects of similar issues emanating from other states, declaring, "It'll never happen here." Yet here we are. Rising living costs, disgruntled homeowners, and an economy overly reliant on the housing sector. The warning signs were apparent, yet optimism prevailed. Now, even optimism can't facilitate a sale. Housing experts nationwide are now viewing Texas as a pivotal case study. Can a once booming market adjust without leading to collapse? Or is this gradual decline merely the beginning of a more significant crisis? Thus far, the signals remain mixed. Some analysts suggest the worst may be behind us, projecting a market stabilization by late 2026. Others believe the correction has just started, and that years of inflated prices still need to unwind. Regardless, one fact remains clear. Texas is no longer shielded from housing challenges it once evaded. Homeowners are adapting as best they can. Some are downsizing, others refinancing, while many are simply enduring, waiting for better times. Buyers, on the other hand, are wary, searching for bargains but hesitant to enter the market hastily. The old saying, "Everything's bigger in Texas," now reflects housing anxiety as well. The forthcoming course hinges on interest rates, consumer confidence, and how swiftly lawmakers can stabilize a market that grew too fast. For the moment, the governor's warning resonates across Texas. He encourages residents to remain patient, informed, and grounded in reality. While the boom has ended, it doesn't signify that Texas is done. This downturn could be a painful yet necessary reset for the state. If housing prices find stability, construction becomes more strategic, and policies prioritize sustainability over speed, Texas might emerge even stronger. This state is remarkable in its resilience. It breaks records and hearts, but it always finds a way to recover. The Dallas housing market didn't collapse abruptly. It deteriorated gradually, sale by sale and family by family, until the dream began to dim. When the governor finally termed it an emergency, the repercussions were visible on every corner. This is the narrative of how America's once most unstoppable real estate market reached its limits, and how Texas learned, through hardship, that no boom lasts indefinitely.